Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back to Spice Channel TV. The governor Abba Yusuf-led Kano state government on Wednesday disclosed that some unpatriotic politicians had encouraged the deposed emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, to fight back after he was dethroned. Disclosing this through his chief press secretary Sanusi Bature, the governor said these unpatriotic politicians are behind the court case challenging his deposition by the Kano state government. And featuring on Arise TV morning show, the governor's spokesman described Bayero's fight to upturn his dethronement as unnecessary, stressing that politics was involved in the issue of the Kano emirate tussle. And Bature had recalled that Emir Mohammed Sanusi never ever challenged the former former Kano state government when he was disposed in 2019. Recall that Governor Yusuf had dethroned Aminu Bayero while reinstating Sanusi as the Emir of Kano in May, and this followed the decision of the State Assembly to repeal the 2019 Kano Emirate law. However, they wanted him to vacate the palace because, at this point, he's no longer the emir of Kano. And the governor who have reinstated the emir gave the other emirs and the deposed emirs 48 hours to vacate their palaces. And Ado Bayero, in his own wisdom, decided to move his family and everything belonging to him from the palace, and now the palace is currently empty until Sanusi entered. But you see, some unpatriotic politicians from outside Kano have decided to ignite him to come back to Kano and start a fight which is unnecessary. And some of these unpatriotic politicians are behind the filing of the court case. Like it or not, there is politics here. The Emir Aminu Ado Bayero was appointed after the dethronement of Sanusi. But then, why didn't Sanusi fight back at that time? I guess that's a big question. And yes, Sanusi made a point there. He didn't fight back because he knew quite well that he would lose the fight against Ganduje when Ganduje had deposed him and removed him from power. He knew he wouldn't stand the fight against Ganduje. That was how he quietly, vacated the palace as the emir and handed over to Aminu Bayero. But now we tend to see that with what's going on in Kano, there tend to be some political powers, behind this emirship also in Kano. Recently, the governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, had announced that Aminu Ado Bayero, the deposed emir of Kano, is to be considered a private citizen and not an emir. Yes, according to the government declaration, this goes alongside with the rulings from the Kano State High Court upholding the State Assembly's repeal of the 2019 Kano Emirate law, which effectively stripped Bayero of his royal status. And earlier in May, the governor Yusuf had removed Aminu Bayero from the emirship while reinstating Mohammed Sanusi as the 15th emir of Kano. And this decision came after the entrantment of the 2014 Kano Emirate law by the State House of Assembly, which nullified the provisions, the previous 2019 law that divided the Kano Emirates. And now we've seen how everything is playing out. It seems that, the court has also reaffirmed Sanusi Mohammed II as the rightful emir of Kano. And at this point, Ado Bayero is now a regular citizen. So all those crises and tensions here and there, the Bayero trying to come back to being the emir, going to court to fight this issue, I think is all over. The decision has been made by the Kano State Court to nullify Bayero as the emir of Kano. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? At this point, Governor Yusuf administration has filed, an appeal seeking further legal clarity as the situation unfolds in various courts regarding the Kano Emirate leadership, because it doesn't end in Kano alone. They tend to take this case to Abuja to the court in Abuja. And you know, anything that goes to Abuja is now a federal matter. So, you know, some certain persons, some federal powers might also want to involve themselves in this Kano crisis, which Kwankwaso had raised alarm that there are some persons who are using this crisis to, you know, do one or two funny things in Kano. And I think Kwankwaso is not far from the truth, even when the APC had dismissed Kwankwaso's claim that there are some federal powers, there are some persons, enemies of Kano, who are trying to create more tensions in the state by, you know, imposing themselves in this very issue so that they would declare Kano a state of emergency. So Ado Bayero is no longer the emir of Kano, and the emir of Kano, the authentic emir of Kano, is Mohammed Sanusi II, says the Kano State Court. Guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. Nature, you have not been sincere when you said some politicians are engineering Bayero to fight back. After all, what brought his dethronement is not politics, but what was his offense? Aminu Ado Bayero cannot be treated like a criminal. They couldn't just dethrone him without any offense. Sanusi caused his dethronement by engaging himself, fighting with Ganduje, insulting him and campaigning against him in public. Now him buy the market for himself. Okay, Emir Sanusi offended the government in power. That was the reason for removing him. Also, when he was the CBN governor, that was why he was sacked. I blame the Kano governor for trying to undo what Ganduje did. His hatred for Ganduje is too much. Tell me how and why he wants to dethrone an emir without any offense being committed. Okay, guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. Well, a lot of people seems to be complaining about the offenses being committed to warrant the, you know, impeachment of this emir of Kano, this former emir of Kano, Ado Aminu Bayero. But let me tell you, all these things are political games. And it seems that the emirs are now pawns in these political games going on in Kano, because we know that the fight itself is not between these two emirs. It's not between Emir Sanusi or the former emir Aminu Ado Bayero. No, the fight is between the governor of the state and Kwankwaso's predecessor. What's the name of this guy? Ganduje. Yes, the fight is between Aminu Bayero. No, the fight is between the governor of the state and Ganduje. And you know that Kwankwaso is backing up Ganduje, is backing up the governor of the state. Meanwhile, they are combining, in fact, this is like a joint movement to fight off Ganduje. Their sole aim in this emirship tussle is to make sure they make Ganduje irrelevant, politically irrelevant in the states. That is their sole aim of this emirship tussle. This emirship tussle seems to be a small screen to the main battle that is really going on in Kano. This battle is between Ganduje and the governor of the state. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section.